Wade left a bit of a teaser on the thread. Looks like he's been reading Doctrine and Covenants, and it made me think of a scripture that I read the other day that it's a great one. It's also from Doctrine and Covenants, and I thought I'd share it with you. So it's Doctrine and Covenants 58, verse 3 and 4. And it says, "Ye cannot behold with your natural eyes for the present time the design of your God concerning those things which shall come hereafter, and the glory which shall follow after much tribulation. For after much tribulation come the blessings. Wherefore the day cometh that ye shall be crowned with much glory. The hour is not yet, but nigh is at hand." The part I want to focus on is the part that says, "For after much tribulation come the blessings." And if you ever want to listen to an amazing talk, there's one by Henry B. Eyring. It's a BYU speech, and it's called The Law of Increasing Return. I think it's one of my favorite talks. And he describes the law of increasing return. Before I get into that, I think we're all familiar with the law of diminishing return, which, we learn that in university as if I study for a test for 5 hours, I'll get 85%, or I'll get, say, 75% on the exam. If I study for 6 hours, I'll get 80%. If I study for 7 hours, I'll get 82%. If I study for 8 hours, I'll get 83%. So you get this kind of curve that starts to plateau towards the top, where you get very little reward for your future, your efforts beyond that point. And I remember in vet school, I got very good at finding the sweet spot where I would study not to ace the exam, but to do well enough I understood the material, and I didn't waste a pile of time becoming a perfectionist on it. Now, the law of increasing return is something you don't hear about much in the world. And what it is, and Henry B. Eyring describes it great, is it's an investment that you make up front where you see very little reward for a long period of time. And then the reward starts to become exponential at a certain point, or it for sure starts to reach a steep curve. And one of the things that he talked about is the gospel. The gospel, when you join the church or you make a commitment to follow the standards, at first it feels like a sacrifice, and it feels like, you're giving a lot and you're receiving a little. And then year after year, you start to receive the blessings of your commitment, and you start to see a return on that investment, and it's not linear. Year after year, the blessings increased and increased and increased. And another example of that is raising children. When you have small children, maybe you guys are different than I am, but small children are just a lot of work and not a ton of reward. And I had the privilege of having one of my daughters get married last month, and I'll send you a picture, so I'll include it in the thread. But you'll see a beautiful bride with an amazing smile on her face, and she's made great decisions up to this point in her life. And I'm not delusional. I don't think, I realize she's going to have struggles, and she may, have huge obstacles in her life, but it's incredibly rewarding to see her at a point in her life where she's happy and she's stable and she's living the commitments of the gospel. And anyway, I'll send you the picture, and it speaks for itself. My wife and I have put in, just like you guys have with your children, a huge upfront investment. And it's moments like this where you look at the picture and it's like, all right, that's what it was for. And I think it'll be like that in this, I'm hoping my children make it to the celestial kingdom, but I think the reunion within the celestial kingdom will be much like that, where it's like, yeah, that time on earth, that was tough, and that was a lot of sacrifice. But look at what we've achieved. The rewards in life might have been few and far between for some of the sacrifices that we've made, but the reward down the road will be huge. So that's the law of increasing return. And anyway, I hope that you guys have a chance to listen to that talk. Let me know how you like it. And again, I appreciate being able to now stay in touch with you guys more closely and see your mate motivations every day. And I hope again that this finds you well. We'll see you later.